Hello and welcome, Nicole with Create the Right Way. And today we are going to talk about what to do with all the stuff that we are decluttering. So, we have been doing our 5-a-day Friday challenge for a while now, and we haven't really gotten into what to do with all of the items that we are decluttering. And so there's kind of a few main categories that things can fall into. The four things of where your items go from the 5-a-day Friday challenges or any other time that you're decluttering. You're either throwing it away, you're donating, you're selling, or you're putting it in timeout. And so we're going to break down each of those and what that looks like. First category, that's really straightforward. If it's garbage, you know what to do with that. Throw it out, maybe recycle it depending what it is. But that's pretty straightforward, cut and dry. All right, so the second category of donation is why we are where we are. So this bag here is actually our current donation bag. We recently donated stuff, so we are starting over with another bag here. And the key here is to have a designated place in your home where donation stuff can go. So as you're doing your 5-a-day Friday challenge or changing over seasonal clothing for yourself or your kids, having a place for donations makes that a lot easier. And if you have a bag, like just a simple bag like this, a big trash bag, a box from your recent Amazon order, anything like that, so that once you've decided something's donation, it goes in there and you only touch it once. So it's ready to go. And then when this fills up, you take it and you donate it, it moves on and gets out of your house. So the third option is to sell it. And this is where I have some questions for you to really think through this process. All right, so I would first challenge you to think through, are you in a season of life where you are going to be motivated to focus on selling stuff? So if you are maybe working on getting out of debt, maybe you're trying to save up for a specific item or something like that, you might have that motivation to really sell stuff and get that moving, make that extra money from that, and that's going to keep you motivated. If that's not an option, where that's not really your primary motivator, then think about maybe having a dollar amount for yourself. So not what you paid for the item, not what you think it could be, but what somebody is actually willing to pay for that item today. And so maybe it's $20, maybe it's $50, maybe it's $100. It's really going to depend on you and your situation and what makes sense for you to decide what is worth that. What is worth that time to take the pictures, do the posting, do the shipping, whatever that looks like for you. And you know what? If this item, I can't get at least that much money from it, then it goes in donation. And that might help you decide between selling and donating, is just kind of having a rule for yourself so that you take that extra decision out of that process and just kind of use that as your guide. The other thing I would ask you to think about is, where's that stuff going to sit in the meantime? So if you're going to post that stuff and you don't have that still in your house until that actually sells, where does that go? So again, like there's a designated place for donation stuff. If you're committed to selling things, think about where that sits in your home and what kind of space that you want to allow that to take up. And also maybe give yourself a timeline. So think about like, okay, either I need to have this posted within a week of deciding I'm not keeping this item, or once it's posted, if it doesn't sell within a month, then it's got to go. So giving yourself those parameters are going to help keep that clutter under control, because while that item is in your house, it's still clutter. Even if you decided to let it go, it's still sitting there. And if you are staring at a big pile of items of, oh, I need to post this stuff, I want to sell this stuff, that can really bog you down and get overwhelming if there's too much of it piling up. So give yourself a break. And if you just thought you were going to sell it and you just don't have time to get there, that's okay. And just be honest with where you are in the season of life that you're in, and just let some of it go, or maybe revisit some of these strategies of, trying to create a dollar amount around, what's worth selling to you, and then go from there. And also think about, another question to think about is, where are you going to sell it? Are you going to do Facebook Marketplace? Are you going to do something like Etsy or eBay or Poshmark or Mercari? Or there's a lot of different options out there. And so knowing right away, if I'm going to sell this, what is my exact plan of what money could I potentially get for this item? Where am I going to post it? Where am I going to store it in my home? What am I going to package it in if I am selling it in a way that's going to require shipping? And how long am I going to let that take up that space? And those might be some helpful ways to think about what to do if, instead of just thinking, oh, sure, I like the idea of selling it, breaking that down a little bit further into those questions will really help you decide if that's a viable option that makes sense for you. And it may make sense, it may not, and either way is okay. Don't be hard on yourself, whichever way you go. All right, so the fourth option is what I call kind of a timeout bin. So Minimal Mom calls it a quarantine bin. But the last category is, what if I don't know if I will need this item again? I'm trying to live without it, but I'm not ready to donate, not ready to sell it. What do I do with that? And so you get some sort of container, bin, box, bag, something that is like your timeout container, and those items go in there, and put a date on there. So maybe give it like 6 months from now, something like that, where if you haven't needed that item or thought about that item or felt like, oh, yep, I'm missing that in my life, that it can go on from there. So ideally, you would put it in a container that you could just donate it from there and don't even give yourself a chance to think, oh, wait, yep, maybe I do want that. Because if you've gone that long without it, you're probably doing okay, and you can let that go from your life. And so again, like with donations, like with sell stuff, think about, where is that going to sit in your home? And the timeout container, that's probably a good one to have a little bit more out of sight. So it can go maybe in your basement, your attic, your garage, somewhere where it's really out of your daily sight, and something that you're not seeing all the time, that you really are trying to live without it. So hope that helps to figure out where to go with all of the items that you're decluttering. Keep it up. You are doing a fantastic job. Love that you are following along for our 5-a-day Friday challenges. Keep coming with the questions. Subscribe to our channel. Keep liking our videos. We really appreciate that. And look forward to chatting with you again soon.